Welcome to Red Cell UX, where we break down board games with a dual perspective. I'm Kelly, a UX designer and new gamer.
And I'm Clay. I'm also here, and I'm a slightly more experienced gamer. Join us while we explore, discuss
And occasionally disagree.
about the world of tabletop games.
Season 1 is all about our very first Gen Con. From playtesting over 30 games, to meeting designers, to the unforgettable chaos of the exhibit hall, we're sharing stories, lessons, and the standout games you don't want to miss. Let's start with an overview of our trip. How do you think it went?
If I had to boil it down to one word, exhausting.
Yeah. We did not get enough sleep. I don't know what I was expecting for my first Gen Con. I had a ton of fun. I liked it a whole lot. It just wasn't anything I had expected. But I'm really mostly the one that I feel like did a lot of the research beforehand.
Yeah, I had planned to just show up and let it happen, but that is not you at all.
That's how we
So,
typically, I feel like, run our vacations. Is I plan way too much and then present you with a few options.
yeah, it's a great system we have worked out.
But we did do a lot of it together. So I had to figure out how the Gen Con website worked a bit, and you definitely helped. You knew that there were going to be comments, websites, tables built out for the different events. I didn't really know initially how to even go about figuring out what our priority wish list thing should be in the beginning.
Yeah, the way the wish list sort of lottery worked, where you build it out. If you don't know, you go onto Gen Con's website and they have, I don't know, 70,000 events all at different times and spread across all the days of the con. You build a wish list of 50 events set in that priority from 1 to 50, and then the moment it opens, the what do
Literally
you
the second
yeah.
it opens.
You submit your list and get in line. And we submitted it, I don't know, the second it opened, and we were 10,000th in line or something.
Yeah, but I have seen online that was actually really good. I've seen people that have submitted multiple years in a row and showed up first and didn't make it that early in the list.
Yeah, I'd say we wound up getting a lot of what we wanted. There were a few key things that we weren't able to get.
I think I didn't properly know how to prioritize. There were things that nobody's gonna sign up for that we put on there because I thought, oh, we need it. Like the Gen Con Zero session that tells you how to attend Gen Con.
Right, right.
Those were mostly open, but then some of the things that you really wanted we didn't get. So maybe I would prioritize it differently in the next time that we go, which I'm sure we'll make a podcast about all of the planning for it. But also, I thought it was interesting. Part of my stress was how am I going to make sure we get into the same events with these tickets? But because we were able to link our passes, that was interesting. But then we did have to go through and say, oh, I know that you might be into this. I might be into something else. How are we going to prioritize our list? But I think it worked out well.
It did. We got a lot of the things we wanted. We didn't get everything. It was difficult beforehand, especially this being our first con, to know, first off, how many events we even wanted to do, and then knowing that we might not get all of the events, how many should we even put on the wish list to try and get, and then some events only happened at certain times. Some events were pretty much every hour that the con was open. So then trying to figure out when we could do what, and if that sold out, then what we could do instead, and then did we want to do even any of that to begin with?
And the answer is yes, because for those of you that don't know me, I am 1,000,000% about everything. So I stocked full our whole schedule. I was like, we need to sign up for 50 events if there are 50 places on this priority list. And we're gonna, I built all the Excels that were okay, our schedule, nothing is conflicting. Here's how we're gonna run it by what we got. It worked out well. So basically, your priority list, you wait in line when it opens. Then they tell you what you got from that, and you have, I can't remember, it's like 30 minutes or an hour to actually sign up for and pay for some of the things. So we got that all scheduled. In the coming weeks or the weeks after that, I guess, you could edit them some. And what I didn't know was like more events came out afterwards, which we never even looked at. We just went with whatever was there. But then in the week before, I'm like writing out, making my own map of the vendor hall. Like, probably the night before we're leaving for the airport, I am color coding our schedule, making little mini maps to go in the back of our badge holders that I've gotten because people are saying that these badges are like not as sturdy as past years.
Printing them out and laminating them, our
Yeah,
schedule and maps.
I mean, you helped with that. You bring the laminator to this relationship. I didn't have one. I do have like a rounded corner cutter though, so killing it. But yeah, I mean, I had ones to go in our backpack. We had ones to go on the back of our badges. We were prepared. I brought a whole snackle box on the plane. Like,
We were, but, and I think this was key, we both agreed ahead of time, we talked about it, that we weren't going to let the schedule rule us. Like, even though we had this schedule and it was printed out and laminated, and we had paid for some of the tickets,
yeah,
we were not going to kill ourselves getting from event to event, especially if we were already in the middle of something we wanted to do, something we
sure.
enjoyed, having fun. We weren't going to leave that to rush across the hall to get to another event.
Yeah, that's fair. I think also, like, never having been to Indianapolis, I didn't know how much time we needed to schedule in between events, and some of them end right when the next one starts, and we didn't want to be running across all of the convention center. I mean, we did a little bit and it was exhausting, but I think we worked it out well. Something I didn't know at the time was there is a mix in your events of like digitally scanning the barcode on your badge and then printed tickets. So that made it a little bit harder to kind of keep track of. And one day of the con, we actually forgot our tickets because I had been trying to like make our bags even more lightweight so we could fit more games in. And one laminated sheet of printer paper did nothing but, in my mind, an exhaustion. I was like, take it out.
Yeah.
So we didn't have our printed tickets.
Yeah, well, and luckily that company was very nice and they allowed us to attend the event anyways, as long as we promised to bring them the tickets the next day, which we did. So that was very nice of them.
Yeah. But that was also eye-opening, was like we didn't want to let the schedule rule us, but I didn't realize that those vendors really do need those printed tickets to prove that you went. So then it became this thing of like, oh, should we have shown up? Should we have taken a spot from someone else? And then that brings up like at the time we didn't know, so we had kind of packed our schedule. But we later, or I later found out, you probably knew about the generic tickets that you could buy.
Yeah, so it's kind of like flying on standby, right? You can show up with your ticket in hand and hope there's a spot for you. That stresses me out.
Does
It
it?
really stresses me out.
Says the pilot who will be flying on standby for all future vacations.
Yeah, but that's like, oh no, I don't get to work, right?
I mean, you know, it stresses me out. If we are anything, I'm the planner and you are laid back.
Yeah, well, not when I'm like, I've made a plan.
Not when it comes to tabletop gaming. We take that
Well,
serious.
yeah, in the game, everything's fair in the game.
Oh, okay. All right. I see how it is.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure we'll get to later, but he's talking about how he kicked me into a room full of zombies.
for the good of the team.
You ended up dying. I survived.
For the good of the team.
I don't. That was not for the good of the team.
Right, I saved everybody, and that's the end of the story.
You
And now you
sacrificed
guys know the
yourself?
story, yeah.
No. Okay. Well.
The but back to the generic tickets. We'll step away from my heroism for a moment. The
My gosh.
yeah, you can just get generic tickets, which are just a set amount of money, and they can go anywhere, they're generic, but you don't have like a reserved spot for
Yeah.
whatever the event is.
So I found out later, like some statistic that I read said about 20% of the tickets for the events nobody shows up to. Whether that is like they came down sick or they're running late
Or they
or
were
they
us.
were us. Yeah. So I think like there was a good amount of times that you could use the generic tickets. I didn't find out about them until after our badges and physical tickets had shipped out to us and arrived.
Yeah, I do think it's weird that it operates on a mix of digital tickets and paper tickets, and I also think it's weird that those physical tickets and your badge, like if you lose them, that's it, they're gone. There's no way to replace them. Like they don't have some kind of record of it.
I was actually like reading horror stories while we were at the con of people that happened to. And thank goodness it didn't happen to us, but I mean, it definitely could have. And you would think in 2025 they'd have that kind of sorted out.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. So, if you plan on going to the con, get yourself a nice badge holder. We did.
Yeah, Amazon. Although it is like oversized from the typical corporate badges.
Oh, that's true. Uh
I just like whipped out a tape measure and I was like, I've ordered it on Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. So I ordered a couple of generic tickets because I panicked and was like, oh, maybe we could get into some stuff we didn't know about before, we didn't get into before. But because I had ordered them after the tickets had shipped out to us, we ended up needing to at some point wait in will call.
yes. Which for as large a crowd as Gen Con is, now we did have to wait in that line for probably 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
I would say it really wasn't that bad.
No, it
Like
wasn't as bad
I
as
was expecting it to be worse, and we went the night before.
Yeah, we went the night before. The line was literally out the convention hall door, the long side of the convention hall, which, if you haven't seen Gen Con, is like longer than a city block.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I was like reading the hours online, and as soon as I saw, oh, they're open until like, I don't know what it was, 2 or
It was like
3.
2 a.m., 3
Yeah,
a.m. Yeah.
it was something like that the night before. I was like, well, as soon as we arrive, we need to drop our stuff at the hotel and take an Uber out there. We did not have a hotel on block. We were fine with that, I think. Like,
No, I think it worked out well. Now, it did cost us extra in Uber money, but it
well,
probably saved us a lot more in
yeah, I was
hotel.
gonna say you
So
didn't look at hotel costs because you
I
don't
don't need
want
to
to
see.
know.
Yeah.
And I am the one who is like, our board game group asked when we got back, oh, how much money did it cost to really go to Gen Con? And I was like, oh, thank you so much for asking. I have this entire Excel with multiple tabs, auto done. Do you want to know how much, like, the airport, travel, Ubers, food, how much we spent on games? Like, you were just like, don't tell me, I don't want to know. Just tell me, can we buy this? And if not, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I prefer to live in the dark in that regard. So
I don't think at any point I was like, we gotta slow it down. Like, you had a good idea every day of like,
I mean, I knew
oh my
what we were
gosh, we
spending.
spend a
Yeah.
lot. You saw the prices while we were there,
Yeah.
but you were just avoiding totaling it. I think that's fine. So we got the generic tickets the night before. We skipped the block party to get the tickets, thinking, oh, most people will be at the block party. Let's get our will call tickets then. We had also my over planning. I'm telling you, I should have been a Boy Scout when I was little. The over planning is like, I made us go to REI and try out backpacking chairs that we could like unfold while we were at the con so that we would have a seat. Because I'm just reading there are how many thousands of people? 70,000
And
people?
very few seats.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way there's enough seats for that many people.
Yeah, and they were great. They were extremely light, less than a pound each,
Hmm.
and they were comfortable and sturdy, easy to pack up, easy to carry around. We did see a lot of other people there that had, I don't know what they're called, but they were definitely 3D printed, and they were these round discs that would fold out, kind of telescope out, and they would
Yeah, they look
telescope
like
out
a
into benches.
stool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stool. Yeah. It was it was nice. It wasn't as easily carried as ours because it was
Yeah.
larger.
Ours, you were able to just fold up and put in your small
Ours
backpack.
did take a couple more minutes to set up and tear down than theirs did because theirs literally just like
Yeah.
shot out and shot back in.
So I think in my mind, like I assumed we would need those a lot more.
Yeah.
I think we did use them, but I think they really came in handy basically while we were waiting for the exhibit hall to open every morning.
Yeah, I think importantly, we also throughout the day just decided we needed breaks and we would either leave the convention to go get some food or we would leave the convention to go back to our hotel for a little bit to just kind of decompress.
Yeah.
And so that rest helped. I feel like if we had stayed at the con the entire time, those chairs would have been even more useful just pulling off to the side to like sit for a little bit. Um,
Yeah, I think that's true. There were a few times we found places like, on the side or upstairs, kind of sit on the ground. There were some benches. We started figuring out, okay, where are the places you can go when you really need a break from people? And then the first day we didn't realize this, but in subsequent days we realized, oh, if you go to the food truck lot, you can then just take your food truck to the stadium, which has tons of seats. They
yeah.
were not the most comfortable, and I'm always at risk of like spilling everywhere. So that was interesting. But I don't think we ate at the food truck lot that often.
No, I mean, the lines were long.
Even at like 11.
And we'll talk about the food at GenCon later, but we were not overly impressed with what we did try at the food truck lot.
No.
Sad to say, except for the beer. We'll cover that later.
Okay. So why don't you tell us your top 5 favorite games that you brought back from the con? And I will caveat this that there are a few games we saw at the con that were either not available by that time or we had talked to somebody and when we got back we immediately found it and bought it. So if you want to include those, I think that's fine.
uh, ooh.
Should I have narrowed it to 3? Is 5 too hard? I mean,
No,
we came back with like a haul.
no, we can do five. I'm gonna need.
A minute to think about it.
No, I just need to look at the picture of our haul, which you can find on our social media, and let me just go through it real quick.
Yeah. Do you want me to post on social just the game haul or like all of the little trinkets and everything? Because I didn't realize, okay, there are trinket traders, there are like pin traders, there were ribbons you could get for your badges. Like, this was a whole community, and I think it really opened my eyes to like other options that we had. Um, and also, while you're looking for the photo, which is probably a while back in your phone now, here it's on mine. That's why you can't find it. Uh, I will talk a little bit about the fact that I didn't really know what to expect. We were coming from Dallas, Texas. And so we were on a plane. We stayed in a hotel that was off block. We were going to Uber. I saw how excited everybody was about the um like lockers or the storage area that you can get. I think it worked out well. We had planned to really utilize it every single day and we ended up not using it a single time, which was like a little surprising to me. We both, I think, carried just a regular sized backpack around and then every time we bought a game they would give you bags and stuff, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
We walked away with so many bags.
I know we did. I really like um 4 Studio or Ivy Studios bag. It's my favorite one.
We're in disagreement with how to say their name.
Okay. Well, to be fair, the most research I did on that was Ask ChatGPT, so it could be wrong. But so we ended up bringing an entire checked bag that was just empty. All that was in it was another bag that we could break out. So on our way there, we went with just carry-ons and a single checked bag full of other bags. On the way back, I would say we got the max amount of games that would fit.
Yeah.
Like, we Tetris the heck out of those bags. And we came back with a carry-on each with games that we did not want to send checked, like just our stuff, and then we checked our clothes, basically. We came back with two checked bags each and two personal items each. Only one box got slightly damaged in the checked bag, and unfortunately it wasn't one of the expansions where we're gonna like fit it in. It was
the base box of Galaxy Trucker. Now we picked up the brand new expansion and the existing expansion for it while we were there because CGE had a deal going on.
yeah.
And of course, the base box is the one that got damaged, but it's not terrible.
No.
And there's way more boxes now than Galaxy Trucker, so we're going to condense Galaxy Trucker into as few boxes as possible, and we'll decide which one we want to keep.
Yeah, I think I was assuming we had enough space in our game room because also for those of you that don't know us, we are the Crazies. Can I tell this story on our podcast?
Yes.
Okay. When we moved into our current house, we found out that the board game table would not fit in the guest bedroom. So we have moved it into the primary bedroom of the house. And all of our board games are in here. We have a bunch of Calyxes, which I just recently learned. My whole life I've been thinking it's Kallax, but the person who works at IKEA told me Calyx. So we we have a ton of those, and they're already filled up from our GenCon haul. But I want to get us back on track. So, okay, we're going to talk about the 5 games that we brought back, but it doesn't have to be we physically brought back that same time.
Yeah, because there were a couple things like that maybe were too heavy or large to bring back from the con, or maybe they were showing or had advertised but actually didn't have for sale at the con.
Yeah, that's true. There's like at least one I can think of that we ordered immediately, still haven't received. So in my mind, like I'm just looking at our photo that we posted on social and going off of that and then some of the more recent like plays that we have. But do it how you will. So do you want to start us off with your number 1 or number 5? How do you want to do it?
Ooh, do you have yours ranked? Because I don't have mine ranked. I just have like
of
the
course. I
top
don't make
5.
a list without ranking it. Like, let's be real.
Okay, so yours will be ranked, one being like the favorite game you got
Yeah.
from the con?
Yes.
Okay.
But then do I count down?
We should start at the bottom.
Okay.
Mine are going to be in no particular order.
Okay, well then you do yours first.
Okay.
Okay.
But I want to guess your first.
Okay.
I'll do it after I say
Yeah.
mine. Okay.
Let's do yours and you can guess mine.
Okay, so
I mean, that'll be like publicly how well do you know me. So, no pressure.
pressure. But one more caveat I just
Okay.
thought of.
All
We
right.
actually haven't played all the games we got at the con.
No, I know. So we're really bad about this. Our shelf of shame is only growing. But I still think it's okay to include those because we will get to them this season. You do it how you want.
Okay.
I'm not going to put any parameters on it.
I'm not going to include anything we haven't played.
Okay.
But that is going to leave me with 2 honorable mentions because we haven't played them yet. I'm very excited for
Okay.
Moonrakers.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm very excited for Vantage.
Yes. Same.
Haven't got to the table yet, either of those, but they're in the lineup, so stay tuned.
So, but with Vantage, I want to say, I think we saw it all over the con, people playing. We really didn't demo it. We weren't that interested, but I heard another podcast and thought, oh, that does sound a little interesting. And then when I was looking it up on BGG, it was ranking really high. And we were at our local board game store a little bit on a whim, like a little coffee time date. And and when I brought it up, you were like, eh. Once I told you about it, you were, oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So that is like a newer one that you're excited about with very little research. And weren't that impressed with like the visual table presence.
I wasn't. It looked like, a nice outdoor game like Cascadia or something like that. And I
Yeah.
enjoy the outdoors. That's one of our hobbies outside of board gaming. But we have games that do that.
Yeah, I would say maybe not like you weren't excited is probably not the right term. It's just like when you're looking at Fate of the Fellowship or Last Light and they just have these like or what is it what was the Astontion something like they have this table presence and like really cool elements and it didn't necessarily have that. But I think that the artwork is nice.
Yeah, plus it's Stonemeyer, so I should have paid it more attention, but oh well.
Is
Well,
that like one that we should follow? Like because I'm so new, I don't really know that much about it. Tell me what does Stonemeyer like mean?
let's see. From them that I know you've played, is going to be like Wormspan,
Okay.
which I know you weren't overly impressed with, but they're solid games, good design. We have Scythe.
Well, I love a tableau. Like
Yes.
my lists could go on for days. Okay. Scythe. Yes, yet another game that we have and are very excited but haven't played yet.
You haven't played yet. I've played it. I like it.
Oh, okay. All right, fair, fair.
We will get to it. But yeah, no, they're generally a very solid company. They only put a couple things out a year. Who makes? I'm trailing off now. We have other games of theirs. I just can't
Okay.
see them directly in
All
front of
right.
me. All right. So back to my top 5 games,
Yes.
not ranked, just the top 5 I'm
Right.
excited for.
No order. Got it.
Right. Well, that would require forethought, and I just came in here and sat down. So I was very excited, and this was probably the only game we lined up for in the morning, besides Kingdom Death, in the mornings of the
Yeah.
hall opening. Ace of Spades.
Yes.
Um, we had to stand in line there for at
Devere,
Devere.
I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
and they only had 200 each morning, but we got that. I was very excited. It's a game
Yes.
where you play poker hands to defeat enemies. It's a solo game, but you can play it cooperatively, and we have. And I really like it. We got to meet the designer. He was really cool. He stamped the inside of our box, which to this day has not dried. Yeah, what, a month
I
down the
have
road?
yeah. I have thoughts about once we go like in other episodes when we talk about it more, I will talk about some of the things I've done to try to fix that problem.
It's an ongoing saga.
Okay.
I did not know something could not
Yes.
dry for that long, but it's been a
Yeah.
month now. Uh,
Okay. So, yes, absolutely.
I'm going to hopefully not steal your thunder because I do think this is your number one. Although now that you're including games you haven't played, I'm not sure. But Moon Rollers was a
Okay.
surprise for me. I'll let you talk more about that, but I've had a really good time playing that.
Yeah.
It's a good game. Designer is really cool. We'll talk about him later too. Let's see.
This whole episode is just we're going to tell you later.
Yeah, well, we're
That's
talking about
fair.
the
Okay.
games right now. The
Yeah.
games.
Just a quick intro about them like
Yeah,
okay.
I'll let you talk about that one though.
Okay.
All right, Galaxy Trucker, which I know is not a new game, but they released a new expansion for it at the con, and I love real-time games. That doesn't mean I'm good at them, but I love them. They're chaos. They just add that real-time pressure, and it's a lot of fun. And I mean, who really expects to win Galaxy Trucker? So who
Me,
cares
I
about the
expect to
pressure?
win every game.
Nah, you're gonna get blown apart in silly ways you can't predict. So don't
Yeah,
worry about
I wasn't aware of the destruction that
it.
was about to ensue as I was like meticulously planning my ship, of course.
Surprise. Yeah. A little game that surprised me because it seems, I mean, it is simple, but it looks real simple and it wasn't impressive, at least visually. I don't know. I had no thoughts or feelings about it till we played Tacta. Uh,
Okay.
that wound up being a really fun game. We got it for free. Some creepy man hiding behind booth, like, handed you one like a drug deal, lured you into the dark, gave you a free copy, and free definitely helps, but we did purchase a copy, we enjoyed it so
No,
much.
he was literally like, "Do you want a free game?" And I detoured immediately from following you through a very crowded
Yeah, she left the safety
hall.
of the crowd.
I was like, "I absolutely want a free game just following this random person." But here's the thing. Tacta we had like seen in the airport on the way in. Like we were seeing ads for it everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Everywhere.
true, and I was unimpressed by the ads, and then we played the game, and it's certainly not deep but it's fun. It's a good way, like, we could carry that around and play that places.
Yeah, I think that was nice. Like throughout the con, there's a lot of sitting and waiting for the exhibit hall to open or like getting our coffee and waiting for our pizza to be like cooked and things like that. We were definitely breaking it out right there and just quick little two-player. You don't have to put any thought into it really. Maybe you should have put more because I crushed you.
Well,
Okay.
you know,
All right.
those were practice rounds, they don't count, everybody knows that.
Okay.
And then,
And one
my
more.
last one, which, again, didn't come out at the con, and we had to get afterwards because they actually weren't selling it at the con, but got introduced to it there and got to hold the pieces and talk to the people, is Joyride. I have
Yeah.
loved Joyride. We loved it so much we bought it twice. So, uh, do you know anybody that needs a copy of Joyride?
We yeah, so I feel like you were kind of trying to convince me as we're walking around the hall. And I was while I think the art is very cool and I really liked it, like something about just the wooden blocky of the cars and because they're just cars, I don't know. I was like, yeah, it's fine. We bought it and I was immediately like, this is so much fun. And like for a planner, I was actually surprised. I enjoy the chaos of it and I do not feel attacked when I'm like spinning out somewhere or any of that. Like it is, I think, good fun. And it was fun when it was just the two of us. Then we played with our board game group and we kind of played some house rule modifications for 5 players, right? And it was just total chaos and a blast.
Yeah, it was, fun is the key word there. It's really a lot of fun. Uh, and I'm sure we'll address it in a future episode, but it was another example of I'm usually the one who reads the rules and teaches the games. And sometimes
Oh,
you know,
look, I don't know if that's okay. It started that way. You give me a hard well, actually, I
a lot
started
of
giving you a hard
uh-huh.
time about leaving out certain rules and you were like, "Oh, you think this is easy, why don't you try it?" And then I did for probably 3 games now and I'm eating my words because you're great at it is a crazy talent that I do not possess. I literally got so nervous the other day when one of our friends was over and he was like, "Oh, just explain it to me or we're waiting for you to get home from work." You got home and I was like, I'm just stalling because I knew you were on your way. And I was like, please explain this to us so I don't have to. So you're great at it. And I,
Well, in this case, you were right, and this was a classic example of me omitting a rule where I just did not teach you the rule for how to reverse because I was like,
that's
"That's a
true.
racing game. Why would you need to know how to reverse?" Immediately, you needed to know how to reverse.
Yeah, I think I was like my second turn.
Yeah.
One turn in, I had moved and I was like, oh, I'm in a wall.
Yep. Yeah. And I was like, I know you hate when I do this, but I didn't teach you this rule because I didn't think it was going to be relevant, but here it is."
Yeah, that was fine. I mean, that game, there's so much, I feel like, chaos. It is more irritating to me if I miss a rule that you did say, or I didn't understand how much weight I should be putting behind a specific rule because I haven't seen how it plays out. With that, it's just like you find it out when you need it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like I was going to plan for that. And it happened so early that I didn't feel like, oh, I have to change my strategy or I missed an opportunity to do that. So it was fine.
Yeah. Well, back on track now
Yeah. You
to
picked
your
some great.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You picked some great games. I'm surprised because I think my number 5, and the reason that it is my number 5 is because we haven't played it yet. I think you're going to be surprised that it is Last Light.
Oh, I am surprised.
Yes, because while we were there, I kind of like got distracted talking to a totally another table. I was tired. It was the end of the day. And I kind of walked off and came back and said, like, get it, let's buy it, let's go. And I didn't ask a lot of questions about it. So I think your interpretation of that experience was like that I wasn't that into it. But what had actually happened is like I had seen it and I'm very into space games. My family is into space. Like I just really liked it. I liked the way that the planets were floating and I was immediately like, "Yep, we're going to get that. You're going to ask a bunch of questions. I don't need to sit here and listen to them because you're going to tell me later." So I walked off because I was tired and I had other things on my mind, like one of the other tables. But I actually am very excited to play it.
Well, good. I love Space Empire, like Space 4X games.
Yeah.
I have too many of them. I don't have enough time to play them all, but I love each of them. Uh, but yeah, from my perspective, I like went to this booth. It caught my eye. I was talking to the sales guy there. He's walking me through it, showing me all the stuff, like going through a detailed explanation of what things
You turn
were.
around
And
and I'm gone.
yeah, then you were just gone, and then he kind of gets done. I'm looking at the box. You walk up and you're like, well, let's get it. And I was like, oh, well, this game here is, and you're like, I don't care. Just get it. Just buy it.
Okay, that is honestly after so it was later in the con. Like after a couple of days, I was exhausted. That is a lot more people than I think I was understanding was I was just tired.
Yeah,
Really. Like,
it was
we
exhausting.
got there pretty much we are morning people, so we got there early. We would wait for an hour or two for the hall to open so that we could get some of the games that only had a few versions of out for the day. And so that was just like time for lunch, time for our afternoon break, whatever it was. I was just like, "Yep, we're gonna buy it. I already know. I gotta figure out how to get it in all of our bags," is the thing. But I'm excited to play it. My number 4 is also maybe a little surprising to you, and that is Regicide, which
Oh,
I know has been out since 2020. We walked up, we asked them a couple of questions about it in in how it pertains to Regicide Legacy, but ultimately said, well, if we want to try it out, we'll just get Regicide, the small little card pack. We can take it with us, try it out over the next couple days of the con, and then if we really enjoy it, come back for the legacy version. We played it a couple of times. Trick taking games break my brain completely. I was lost. You helped me figure it out. We played it a bit. I get frustrated because we lose every time.
yeah,
I was listening to Tom Bassel say he
not a
hasn't
trick
won
taking.
yet.
Yeah, not a trick taking game, but it's a game that uses standard playing cards, which also for some reason seems to break your brain.
Oh, so it's like the combination of like the extra rule with the suit, with the number and the okay, it broke me. But anyway, I I'm not willing to pay that much for Legacy, if I'm honest. Like I wasn't at the con, but I do like the card deck. I like the artwork and between that, Ace of Spades and what's the video game you've been playing a lot of?
Baltro. Yeah.
Baltro. I feel like, okay, we've been into it. I do like that it is a short little lightweight thing we can bring with us around. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind of
easy
been
to
my
carry around. It's
yeah.
easy to set up. It takes very little time to play because we just die. Does anybody win that game? I'm convinced nobody does. It's really
We're
hard.
gonna be the first. I'm gonna make us play it till we win.
Mm,
Tom Bassel got like second to last card, I think he said.
oof. Well, we have gotten nowhere close to that. So
I mean, we've gotten further than we have in Ace of Spades,
that,
for sure.
yeah, that's true actually.
Okay, so number 3 is Tacta, which I know you talked about already. I also saw the ads. I liked the artwork. I mean, it's got some nice colors, okay, some little dots. That's cool. I do like puzzle, like I don't know what you call it, but that mechanic I do enjoy.
Yeah, it kind of like sprawls out into this free form shape as you play, which is really cool. I think your
It's like a
family is going to enjoy that one a
spatial
lot.
puzzle. Yeah, I think especially my mom.
Yeah.
I similar to what's the one I'm thinking of, Uh the one with the circle and you pull the pieces. and then
Oh,
you place them.
you're talking about patchwork?
Yeah. In my mind, it's similar to patchwork. It's probably like very different, but to me, it's similar. And anyway, so we saw the ads everywhere. I thought, I'm not gonna pay for that. Whatever. We got the free copy because I
Risked your life.
followed this
Yeah.
random stranger into a dark corner. And then I beat you at it a bunch of times, and I was like, this game's great. It's also fast. I don't at the end of the day when I'm tired at the from the con and we're just waiting on dinner and we want to break something out cuz we can't wait for like that after dinner all night play session. It was nice to just like have something. So anyway, that was my number 3. My number 2 is Twinkle Twinkle.
Hmm.
I I almost feel like that is probably the first game in all of our games where you were like, about it. And I was like, we have to have this. Like, I have to have this. I love it. I know I entered this relationship with Space Base already and all of the stuff. But this one, I don't know. I saw those clear acrylic tiles. Again, it's like a space theme, but it's cute. My niece has been very into board games lately, and I'm trying to like cultivate that and keep it growing. So I think I saw it as like, oh, she can probably start handling something like this. We've got kids between like 6 and 7 or 8. Well, 6 and 8, I guess, right now. Like that play with us pretty consistently. So anyway, all of that to say, I like Twinkle Twinkle. We have not played the expansion yet. I'm excited about it. I like the tile drawing bag. I think that all of the components are very well done. I like that it's a small-ish game box, so it's easier to like bring to my sister's house when we're playing and stuff.
Yeah, I'm very curious if we're going to be able to condense all of that into one box. I don't think we're going to be able to.
Yeah, no, the answer is I've tried, so it's on you now.
Ah, it's a criticism I have, a running criticism of all play.
I'm literally asking ChatGPT every time we think about an expansion, like at the board game store. Hey, is this gonna fit in the core box?
Because we don't have enough room for all these boxes. We gotta.
I thought when we got some extra shelving, I was like, all right, and we very quickly filled it. It's exploding into the rest of the house. I think it's
Yeah.
fine. My number 1, you were right. You already guessed it. This is probably the least surprising, Moon Rollers.
Yeah.
I love it. Our friend Barry wants to borrow it. He loves it. I really liked the studio. I think so. We walked into Four Studios
Ivy Studios.
room at least 2 times and kind of saw the prices, saw the components. The prices were high, but their room is like well done. I think that the components are worth that price.
They definitely put thought and effort into their room. They didn't just like move into the room and set up a sign that said, "Hey, this is Ivy or Four Studios." They like built a facade around the entrance of the room and then like covered the walls and set the lighting.
Yeah.
Like it was
I
really
mean,
nice in there.
full experiential, like user experience design thought there.
Yeah.
Met the designer, really liked it. I also appreciate that between like Moon Rollers, Moonrakers, like they're starting to build some of the universes so that you have the same characters
Brink.
but different mechanics, like same theme. And then I'm really, really excited for Honor's End, which the Kickstarter launches October 7th. I'm gonna set an alarm press, add it to our joint calendar because it's a co-op deck building. And I am very bad at deck building games. So I asked Austin, one of the designers, like, hey, help me beat Clayton. He gave me some tips, but you heard them, so I don't know that it's going to help me beat you.
Heard them. I gave them.
Yeah, he did ask you, how do you win at deck builders? You told him, we'll give you the full story in that episode. So I think I was excited with everything we brought back. We will post the photo on social media. It was a lot of fun. So stay tuned for all of the season 1 episodes where we go into more details about our experience at GenCon, our
Ugh,
first GenCon.
man, I still got so many other games I want to name and talk about. I forgot about Fellowship of the Ring, and I forgot about the stuff we got for Roth.
Fate of the Fellowship,
Fate of the
yeah.
Fellowship, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Ra
okay. We'll talk about all
yeah.
those games, but they all deserve honorable mentions too.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're gonna get into all the details coming up.
Thanks for listening to Red Cell. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. You can find us on Instagram at RedCellUX, where we post behind the scenes extra content and game highlights.
We'll be back next time with more stories, strategy, and design insights from the world of tabletop gaming.